Wow, 345 Empire Boulevard. I had crazy memories growing up there. So, yeah, 345. Wow. So listen, that was the first place that I actually got high. Me and my little friends, we used to drink Old Gold. We used to drink Coke 45. Ballantine Ale. We drink any kind of beer you would think of back in the days. We used to drink it. And we used to get so high that we would go on the roof. Like we would break out all the lights in the hallway, and then we would drink beer, like 12, 13 quarts of beer. And then we would go on the roof because, you know, when you hit the light after getting high in the dark, it's like it gives you another high. And I never forget one night I almost walked off the roof and somebody came and grabbed me and threw me on the ground. And they was like, "Marty, are you crazy? You almost walked off the roof." And I was like, man, I was just like laying on the ground laughing, and like it was just funny to me. But I never forget, I almost died that night. Almost walked off the roof. But also 345 had brought me memories because that was the place where I was actually molested from my neighbor across the hall. There used to be a lady called Miss Beverly. She was messing with a dyke lady. I forgot, her name was Deborah. Dyke lady named Deborah. Miss Beverly was messing with her. So one day, I would always go to the store for Miss Beverly and buy her stuff, and she would pay me. And one day, I came back in the building, and everybody was like, "Marty, Miss Beverly's looking for you." And I was like, "Oh, for real?" So I came upstairs, knocked on her door, and I said, "Hey, Miss Beverly." She grabs me by my shirt and pulls me into her apartment, and now she's butt naked, right? And plus she didn't have any teeth either. So we go to the back of the apartment and she bends over the couch and she says, "Marty, put it in, just give it to me, put it in." Now, I'm young. I never had sex before. So I don't know what's going on, but I was a little brick because, I saw a naked lady, so I had a little hard on. And after we had sex, you know what I'm saying, I left and I went back across the hall to my apartment, and my mom's was like, "Where you was at?" I was like, "Oh, I was outside. Miss Beverly asked me to run to the store for her." So came in the crib, got undressed, got in the tub, ran the water, and I'm taking a bath, and I went to go pee, and it came out, it was burning. Now, y'all know back in the days when we used to take a bath, we used to pee in the water. So don't act like you never peed in your bath water. So my pee-pee was burning, and I'm screaming, I'm crying. My mom comes in the bathroom. "What's wrong?" I was like, "Oh, Miss Beverly, she forced me to have sex with her." She was like, "What?" Man, my mom's went over there. Woo! That lady got a whipping, boy, I'm going to tell you. Then when when Deborah came back, Deborah found out what happened. Deborah beat the crap out of her. So yeah, that was the first place I got molested, 345 Empire Boulevard. I also remember it too because that was the first place I actually jumped off the fire escape there into a garbage can. I did some crazy stuff. We used to do some crazy stuff. The school across the street was Lefferts Elementary School. I used to go there. We used to run things in the school. Me and these other two boys, we had so much fun in that school. I got left back a bunch of times. I was in 6-8, which was the dumbest class in the 6th grade, but I thought I was in the smart class. I also would never forget 345 because my moms used to date this guy named Marcus. And Marcus used to beat up on women. And Marcus used to beat my mom so bad that her eyes were blackened, her face was swollen. And it was really bad. One day he beat my mom's up so bad, and I went and got a knife and I tried to stab him, and he slapped me across the living room, and I hit the wall and fell on the floor. And, and I chilled, obviously, because I knew I couldn't beat him. But he beat my mom's up really bad, and my Uncle Pee-wee, I don't know who called them, but one day Pee-wee showed up at the door. I opened up the door and he said, "Where's your mother?" I said, "She's in the bedroom with Marcus." He went and knocked on the door, and then when he knocked on the door, Marcus opened at the door and he was like, "I need to talk to you on the fire escape." Man, all I heard was boom, 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 boom. When Marcus came back off the fire escape, both of his eyes was like this, like he beat the crap out of him. But Marcus never touched my mom's after that ever again. And then after that, he wound up leaving my mom's because he was scared of my Uncle Pee-wee. So that was another crazy time. And the time that really, really affected me, that I really don't talk about a lot, is I was molested when I lived at 345. Right around the corner up the block was an A&P supermarket. And because my mom was on welfare, and she was alcoholic, I think she was on drugs too. I used to go to the A&P supermarket, and I used to pack bags to make extra money, to help take care of my siblings and stuff, and to buy stuff that I liked. And so while I was packing bags one day, I would carry people's bags home for them, and they would pay me. And one day this old man asked me to carry his bags home, which was the building on Sullivan across the street. And I carried his bags home for him, and he invited me in, and he asked me if I wanted something to drink. And he gave me some water or juice or something, I can't remember. And I drank the water, and he told me to get comfortable, so I sat down. And I don't know mentally how I got in this position, but next thing I know, that he had me bent over, but he didn't penetrate me. But he did ejaculate, though. And when it was over, I left, and I went back home. And I never told my mom what happened. I never told anybody what happened to me. I don't know if I was embarrassed or whatever the case was, but I never shared this information really with anybody, just a couple of people as I got older, but I never shared this information with anybody. And when I told my moms, she was crying, she felt so bad, and I'm quite sure if I would have said something, the guy would have went to jail, because I remember where he lived at. But he was an old man, I didn't think nothing of it about telling anybody, but, this is one of the reasons why, it's not that I kind of like despise homosexuals, but I ain't really feeling gay people too much, because I was taken advantage of by somebody of that nature, and it didn't really mess me up mentally, because it didn't turn me like that. I'm a straight man. I love women. I love vagina, you know what I'm saying? And I would never go that direction, but it did mess me up mentally, because growing up, I had to keep sleeping with a lot of women to prove my manhood. And I'm quite sure I hurt a lot of women in the process of that, because, I just went from woman to woman to woman, because I just couldn't get satisfied, because I had to keep proving my manhood because of what happened to me at a young age. And people don't understand how things like that affect you, So it is what it is. Today I thank God what I've turned out to be. I'm a great person, I believe, you know what I'm saying? And I love my life, you know what I'm saying? And I pray for all of you guys. I thank God for you, all you women out there that's being abused. If you need help, go get some help. I wish I could start this organization called Big Brothers for Little Sisters. You know what I'm saying? So if a dude is beating you up or something, you ain't got no big brother, no father, you could just call us, and we'll bring the 9mm and slap that dude up, or whatever the case is, because a lot of these dudes, they punks. They just need to be beat up a couple of times and know not to mess with a woman again, like my uncle, like Marcus did, like my Uncle Pee Wee did, So thanks for listening to my stories. I appreciate y'all always, but, God bless you. Love you always.